Ooh, welcome back to the Gay Racing Podcast. I don't know what's scarier, gay people talking about racing or the fact that our favorite drivers are not locked into the championship for.
Oh, that is pretty scary.
That's really scary.
Ooh.
I'm feeling very spooked out right now, dude.
Happy Halloween week, everyone.
It's not a good time to be us. I'm so scared.
Well, no, I mean, our guys were 1-2, Blaney and Larson, and then a ghost showed up and scared Kyle Larson, and it ruined everything.
Oh my God, the ghost of Austin Dillon showed up.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm very scared. I like how I at least care. I feel like in years past, maybe I wouldn't care. Maybe last week I wouldn't have cared, but I think we have a lot to talk about with Homestead.
Oh yeah.
And the race we saw.
So much.
It was probably one of the better Homestead races we've seen all time. One of the best playoff races of all time.
It's not the best.
Yeah, I mean, it just had everything. Like, because that's the thing about the round of 8, and it's why we love the round of 8 so much. And everything that I love about the round of 8, it's all 8 of the playoff drivers. Well, but excluding Logano, but I think they were taking the week off anyways. But like, they're all fighting for everything, points. But what's kind of interesting, as I'm going to get into later, is the fact that the cut line isn't close is almost making this better. Because you're just watching every driver. They're trying to win that race, and that's all that matters. And
the thing that stood out to me most, Zach, is that the 3 that were up there most of the race were the 3 that were below the cut line and had to win. Essentially had to win. You had Blaney, Elliott. Yeah. Hamlin was up there. Reddick was up there. It just really shows that, hey, winning is everything with this format. And whether you like the format or not, I don't think this race would have been the way it was without this format, because you had all the varying strategies, because people were trying to find any way they can to win this race. And ultimately, Tyler Reddick's strategy, which NBC was calling a Hail Mary, ended up working out because he stayed out as long as he possibly could, was hoping for a caution. He doesn't get it, but he pits, and then he gets his lap back, and then the caution comes out. So it worked out, but not quite how they wanted it.
He really should not have won that race yesterday.
No.
Because so
lucky.
They do a Hail Mary strategy. It technically didn't work at first. Then they stay out to get the track position back. Thankfully, he got his lap back. But then he has a horrible restart. He restarted first, but he was back in third, at least. Like, he had to go make those passes back up with 2 lap older tires. Like, he should not have won that race.
The odds were against him in like every single way.
He passed 2 cars on the last lap. That is insane.
Yeah.
In an era where it has never been harder to pass. And that just kind of, again, shows the strengths of Homestead Miami Speedway. Like, it is a driver's racetrack. But to even just have a short-term moment like that, I mean, Kyle Larson took laps to get around Ryan Blaney. You know, or he didn't even get around him. Like, it's just so crazy the way racing is sometimes. And yesterday was just it's a great example of why we watch, why we love NASCAR. And we sit here after Homestead. We enjoyed the show, but also our favorite drivers are sitting on the outside. We're not sitting on the outside, but yeah, they are below the cut line. Yeah, they are below the cut line, looking outside right now. So it's going to be a tense week ahead coming to Martinsville. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you started off with that point, Zach, on the top of the show, is that this race really reminded you of why you love NASCAR and everything. And Larson's impact really reminded you, like, hey, I care about this. It did that for me, because I did not expect Ryan Blaney to go to Homestead and run this well. Like, I knew he would run decently. He ran really good at Kansas. We know he has a 1.5 mile speed, right? But going into Homestead, I did not pin him as like, he's going to be the guy. And then he qualifies pretty bad. I'm like, okay, we'll probably get like a top 10, whatever, for Blaney. Has a insane long run car, just insanely fast long run car, which I think is ultimately why he didn't win, partially why he didn't win this race. But it did remind me personally, like, yeah, like, whoa, I actually care. I was cheering, I was yelling at my TV, I was jumping, I was excited. Like, this is how NASCAR is and how NASCAR was when I was a kid, right? Like the fond memories I have as a kid. And we've had that so many times this year. It's what a crazy year we're having in NASCAR. I know we've had some frustrations with the car, different procedures, but this is a season we're going to remember for many, many years to come for how
What we
many
talked
crazy
about.
moments we've had. Yeah.
We're going to see random clips of this season in 10 years on whatever Twitter platform we're using.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just like someone can post a clip of this Homestead race and get like a bunch of likes.
Exactly.
It's like the new Chicago race, the Chicago clip from 2014.
Yeah. Just all around banger of a race. And I think this solidifies it, if it hadn't already, that Homestead should never have lost a championship race. And there's no way Phoenix could ever replicate what we saw. I don't even think Homestead itself has ever done this before. The most recent race I can think of that was this good at Homestead, and there's been many great Homestead races, is 2011. And that was because of the Tony Stewart-Carl Edwards battle.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because all of the races they get kind of strung out a little bit because, well, I mean, we saw yesterday, I mean, Tyler Reddick had like a 3-second, 5-second lead at one point. Like, it's a driver's racetrack. Like, you can actually make a difference as a driver because putting it up against that wall is it's a skill. It's a skill that not every driver is able to do. So it's refreshing to see because it's almost like they're not racing with spec cars, almost like it looks really cool. And then, there's actual multiple lanes, again, I'm never going to sit here and be like, I like the next gen car, but Homestead does a really good job hiding the fact that we are racing in next gen cars, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I was talking to our friend Jackson Todd about this after the race. NASCAR took the championship race away from Homestead at the absolute worst time because you look back, 2020, you had the whole Harvick fiasco at Martinsville doesn't advance, and you go in and he doesn't make it to the Final Four, and it's at Phoenix, right? But if we would have had a decent race at Homestead, I'm not saying that would have taken your mind completely off of it, but you would have had a decent race, right? And then the last couple of years, you just look back that it's just kind of like a mediocre, and all you can think about is the format. But at least at Homestead, you're like, wow, this is a really good race. And I think this just showed, like, wow, this format amplified all those different varying strategies to happen, specifically with how Homestead races. I just think it's bad timing for Homestead to not be at the finale.
I feel like that's what NASCAR is all about, Homestead Miami Speedway. It's a straightforward oval. It's fast. It requires a skill from the drivers that not a lot of other tracks test you on. Yeah, Phoenix is multi-groove. Yeah, sure, Phoenix looks good. I hate all the conversations about, well, the Phoenix airport has this activation and, oh, the grandstands are a little empty at Homestead. Listen, I get that. That's valid. As a race fan, I do not care. And I said this last time we talked about this. I don't care. Homestead is the better venue or the better race. And if they put money into it, I mean, it's near Miami, dude. I know there's talk about, well, the culture of Miami sports fans, and it's hard to put a foot. No, dude, be your own thing. Stop worrying about other sports. I get trying to reach the greater market, but when it's your championship race, I feel like, I mean, Alex, look at what IndyCar did to Iowa. Yeah, you can make a big event anywhere, dude. If you can pack the stands at Iowa Speedway, I think you can do that at Homestead Miami.
Absolutely.
You might have to put a little bit of money into it. You might have to get some concert going, maybe making a little mini music festival. I don't know, but like the racing, you don't see that kind of racing in many other places in the country. So I don't know. It's a special place. I don't want to hear about the airports, the cities. I don't care.
Right.
I'm tired of talking about it.
And look, we're not going to see what we saw at Homestead yesterday for the championship every year if it were the championship. But we have never seen something like this at Homestead, right? At least this finish. But the racing product we have seen time and time and time and time and time and time again at Homestead. And that is the key factor. I love Homestead Miami Speedway. I want to go there someday. It is such a fun track to watch, and I'm so glad I'm a fan. Like, it just reminds me like, man, this is why I love this stuff. Yesterday's race just really reminded me of that.
And again, if it's not the championship race, again, at least like a rotation with Phoenix, Vegas, whatever else you want. I see some people say Martinsville, but Martinsville doesn't feel like a championship race to me, so I don't know. But
yeah,
whatever they want.
Well, let's talk about some of these moments that we're talking about in detail, because obviously Tyler Reddick did go on to win this race, past Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin on the last lap. Key moment here is when you're in turn 3 and 4. Ryan Blaney is running in the middle. Tyler Reddick stays on the outside. Reddick looked like he just kind of shot out of a cannon, middle of 3 and 4, just had a huge run, and Blaney doesn't go up to block it or anything. And I don't know if he could have. I'm sure he's thinking about that today. But
yeah, it was weird because Reddick almost got to his outside before the corner too. Like he left that open. Like, and I don't know if he was trying to. I think what he was maybe trying to do was protect against a dive bomb, which
like a slide job.
Fair enough. Like I saw some people compare it to Darlington, where Reddick kind of dive bombed Buescher. I get that, but like as we saw at like Kansas in the spring, you cannot leave that top lane open. You can't. I feel like that's the defense. You got to keep up your momentum, run the top lane. If he does slide you, like what we saw Carl Edwards do that one year with Jimmy Johnson, just cross him over. Like you just cross him over and win anyways. Maybe off the beat and bang a little bit, but I get Ryan going to block the bottom, but I just feel like leaving up. I feel like he just gave it away for free. He didn't make Tyler work for it because I mean, slide jobs are hard to do in the next gen car, especially like on the final lap when Blaney's expecting it. Like on the high side, he could have just gassed up himself and probably overcooked the entry or something.
And everyone knows the high line is the preferred lane at Homestead, so it is a little weird. But I would have never anticipated Reddick again, as we said, on the older tires, to get that kind of a run on the outside.
Yeah. I think at that point, the tires must have equalized, like not in wear, but just them being the same heat, like having the same temperature is probably fine. But yeah, like as you said, like the high lane, especially it's Tyler Reddick. Now, again, we're talking about this on Monday. We have plenty of time to think about it. Ryan Blaney in the moment. And also, he was racing Denny Hamlin. All of a sudden, Tyler Reddick just passed him. Like he probably didn't think he was going to have any sort of chance or momentum to catch Blaney, but he did. And you kind of said this earlier, Blaney had a long run car. That was a 6-lap run. Blaney was just at the disadvantage. It kind of sucks. It kind of sucks that caution came out with Larson.
Yep. And the other thing I want to mention with this top 3, Reddick, Blaney, Hamlin, all 3 were on different strategies before the Larson spin.
It's true.
So all 3 of the strategies could have won this race. And again, we highlighted Reddick's was a bit of a stretch, and he got really lucky. He got back on the lap when he did. But it's so cool. Each strategy potentially was a winning strategy.
I think Denny's strategy, like Denny was not going to win that without the caution. But if someone who was running second, like not Larson, but like if he wasn't so far back from Blaney and did that strategy, I think it would have worked. I think we saw did Chase Elliott do that to win stage 2? Was that someone else?
I'm not sure.
I think Denny did that to win stage 2. Denny did that to win stage 2, I think. So,
but really, really, really good race all around. The strategy, loved it, just all around.
Yeah,
might be race of the year. Like I was thinking Kansas won, but this might be.
I think Kansas, literally, that entire race was so good.
It was.
In stage 1, it's Chastain and Larson slugging it out, but also the playoff implications do actually kind of make this more interesting and more fun to watch. And I just imagine if this was for the championship, because I think you would see all 4 drivers in the championship 4 running up front, slugging it out, just like what we saw with the round of 8 drivers today. And amazing finish. It's like the first time Homestead has had a finish like that, like last lap pass, going from 3rd to 1st in the next gen car on the final lap. Insane. It shouldn't have worked, but it did. So cool.
And then we mentioned Kyle Larson. He did have that spin.
Yeah.
He was battling Ryan Blaney. They were on the same strategy, trying to get around him. Austin Dillon was there on the outside. Blaney was using Austin Dillon as a pick.
Dillon.
I feel like Dylan should have gotten out of the way, but maybe he couldn't have.
You know what?
I don't know.
This is 2 years in a row at this race that Kyle Larson has spared Ryan Blaney.
And Ryan Blaney's finished second at Homestead 2 years in a row now.
Larson could have just wrecked him. If he was not going to give him enough room, just wreck him. He should have, actually.
He should have. So he wrecked himself instead?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he decided to wreck himself the last 2 years just to keep Ryan Blaney safe. So just think about that. Think about that.
You would do that for me, wouldn't you?
No, hell no. Catch me in fantasy later. Catch me in fantasy later. I'm not. That's crazy though. But of course, it's not Ryan Blaney's fault. It's Kyle Larson getting a little bit too aggressive. But that's just his identity. I mean, he has the most wins of anyone this year, and it's this format where he's still only -7. And I mean, honestly, he's probably going to have to win Martinsville anyways, because Blaney and Hamlin and even Elliott and Byron and I think literally every other driver has won at Martinsville before. So like, he's got to go win Martinsville probably anyways. So.
And speak of Kyle Larson, Zach, he once again had a tire failure. This is like the third or fourth time in the playoffs alone. It's
okay. So can we talk about? Of course, the next gen car had to have its plot in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
So
little subplot.
Tire blows, hits the wall. Allegedly, there was no damage on the diffuser. Kyle was reporting that the car felt awful now. I think that was just him in traffic, because he drove back up to the front.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think there was actually damage, but at Kansas there was damage when that same thing happened. So I don't know. What actually killed his race, Kyle Larson, when he spun after that incident with Blaney, what did they call it? That diffuser flap thing to keep the cars from going airborne. You saw Steve explain this last night, right?
Yeah.
Some flap comes up under the diffuser to keep the car from going airborne. It's from the roof flap having a string to it or whatever. They had to fix that. They had to fix that on the pit stop, put it back up so that he could run at a good pace.
That's right, because when he spun, he didn't lose any spots. If he did, it was like 2 spots.
He lost like 1 spot, but then he lost a bunch of spots on pit road. Yeah. And it didn't even take that long to do it, but it's NASCAR, dude. Like, you can't give up a second or two. Like, that is so, like, of course. Like, if it's so rich of me to complain about bad luck as a Larson fan, but like, it's just all these little things this year just keep, I don't know. But again, a lot of it is just driver error. And it's hard for me to sit here and complain about that, but I don't know. This is the perfect format for Kyle Larson because it allows him to make mistakes. I mean,
that's true.
He said,
So he ended up finishing 13th. I also want to shout out Chase Elliott, because Chase Elliott kind of just, he's been okay this year. He has a win, but he hasn't been like bright and shining, right? But he's
been like Matt Kenseth 2000.
Yeah.
Like he
led quite a bit in this race. And as we mentioned, Hamlin, Reddick, Blaney were like the class of the field. And this was probably his best race of the year, I would say, like outside of his win.
Yeah, leading laps.
He finished 5th, but we're going to go into the playoff points here in a second. I would say he still has to win at Martinsville. That's got to be a bit frustrating. You probably have your race of the year and you're still not good enough to like make any ground or anything.
The round of 8. Because also, like, he gave up a lot of playoff points when he had kind of had he had like a bunch of DNFs in the summer.
Yeah.
Like, so he gave up like fighting for the regular season title and only having 1 win. He only has 1 stage win on the season, by the way. Only 1 stage win. So yeah, like he has no playoff points. Like, that's just kind of the issue. Like, you have to spend some time up front, whether it's winning stages or what. And if you're not spending time up front, you better be so consistent that you win the damn regular season championship. And it's just it's not looking like it's going to work out for Elliott, because I just don't know if that team can just show up to Martinsville and win. They were very fast there in the spring, but I don't know. If you ask the average NASCAR fan, they claim conspiracy. to the spring race. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, do you want to pull up the playoff points and we can kind of break it down?
Yeah, nicely.
Pretty please.
Okay.
Thank you. See what happens when you guys say please. It's so nice. But taking a look at the playoff points, Reddick and Logano are in the championship 4. Christopher Bell, very, very quiet. Again, finished top 5.
He didn't really
do that.
He didn't really like. To be honest, though, he's probably like, I'm gonna let y'all race and just chill in 5th.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
like
he didn't want to get any of that.
7 of the 8 playoff guys, that's no Logano, were 1 through 7 for quite a while in this race.
Yeah.
And for Bell, I mean, he finished 4th. He's doing what he needs to do. Like, he's trying to be the guy to make it on points.
I'm pretty sure he scored a lot of stage points because like Larson was in a similar position coming in, but well, not really similar, but like Larson not scoring those stage points, and now he's below the cut line. Like those stage points are such a big deal, and so I think the general consensus right now, people are penciling Bell in, which, yeah, I get that. There is going to be one spot on points. He has a 21 point gap over Byron. I think the 20 team, they still got to be on their very best behavior and their best game. But I think they, just run top 5, top 10, get stage points. I think they'll be okay. I think, again, everyone else, it's a must win. And it's kind of what I said last week. Like, sure, there's still a way they can make it on points, but like, dude,
you can't rely on it.
If you're really on Byron, you have to assume that Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin and your teammates are going to win in Martinsville. So you need to be the guy competing for that win. You have to run up front.
Basically, Byron cannot have a race like he did last fall at Martinsville.
No.
He was awful.
I think it's I think it's Bell and whoever wins Martinsville. And that's, again, it's why the fact the cut line's not that close, I think it makes this racing even better because these drivers are going to be very desperate. They know they have to win. It keeps it simple for us, keeps it simple for them. I don't think we're going to be talking about points racing a lot. So unless if Bell has something happen,
that's what I was going to say.
Then things might actually be more interesting.
If a Hamlin, Blaney, Elliott win, and then Elliott or Bell has an issue, then you're looking at a points battle.
Yeah.
For potentially that 4th spot between Larson, Byron, and Bell. A lot of things can still happen here. Like, this is far from over for those last 2 spots. We'll make our fantasy picks later in the episode. I imagine one of our picks are one of the 8 in the playoffs. Maybe.
I don't know.
We could have some surprises.
There's one guy I really want to see win this weekend, but
is he looking at boats right now?
He's not okay. He's not my pick, by the way. He's actually not my pick. I'm just saying.
Are you bluffing?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
You really think I would pick Martin Truex Jr.? You really think I'm going to put my season on the line with Martin Truex Jr.?
You never know. God. You didn't pick Logano. He was your last choice when you said he'd win.
Logano's on vacation.
I'm talking about for Vegas.
Oh, yeah. No, Logano's like... I hate people using like, Logano had a horrible race. Why is he competing for the championship? Bro took the week off.
I think what they're doing, the 22 team, they're trying to figure out what they can do to find speed everywhere else for next year. They're not thinking about Phoenix. I mean, they are. But for Homestead, they were like, let's just...
What are you talking about? No, they've been simming Phoenix. They're there they're clocking in. They clocked in on Sunday. That's it.
For Homestead, they were like, let's try and find something for the 1.5 miles so we're a bit better for next year.
Who cares?
Logano said himself. That's what they're doing.
No.
He did.
I know. I guess I Homestead. But all week, though? Nah.
No.
Phoenix.
No. Just
Bro
for Sunday.
Is making laps at Phoenix in that simulator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro's making laps. He's gonna be so good there.
Before we move on, I don't know if we talked enough about Tyler Reddick. So cool that he won the way he did. And
I like what Michael Jordan said. That little kid can drive. He drove his butt off. That little kid. He's
tiny. Tyler Reddick is tiny.
He's like half the size of NJ. Oh my god.
I did see a stat that was Tyler Reddick's the first driver to win a race the week after going upside down since Rusty Wallace in the 80s, I believe.
Okay, who can keep
So-
track of this stuff?
Nerds
You
on
guys-
Twitter.
You guys that keep track of stats like that, you guys amaze me.
Yeah. So that's never happened in our lifetime, Zach. No one's flipped one week, then won the next until now.
I have something
Cool.
really inappropriate to say that I'm not going to say.
Oh, you can tell me after.
Kyle
the
Larson
episode.
won once on the same day that I hooked up with somebody. So does that
okay.
go in the history books?
Yeah. Yeah.
The most wins of any driver that during. Never mind. I'm going to stop talking. I think it's better if I stop talking for the. I'll just stop talking until fantasy.
Yeah, you don't want to bluff anymore.
F1's next. I really don't want to talk about Formula One. Oh my god.
Well, let's talk about Formula 1, everyone. That's our NASCAR segment. Really cool for Tyler Reddick.
Homestead.
Slay of the week
Should be
to
the
Homestead Miami Speedway, by the way.
Should be the championship race.
Yes. Formula 1 was at Mexico. I watched the first lap and then I turned it off.
And so Alex, you didn't watch the race, and you still know, without watching the race, that Max Verstappen pushed someone off the track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that's like a given at this point.
What the? So they actually penalized him this time.
I saw
I think
that.
it was for 2 different incidents, because then
Okay.
because Lando then had to cut the entire corner because Max didn't let him on the track. So then Lando tried to give the place back, and then Max forced him off the track again, trying to give the place back. To be fair, Lando picked a horrible spot to give the spot back. Anyways, so Max got a 20-second penalty. I don't know why. So it's for forcing another driver off the track, and that just makes me think.
Where's
so
last week's penalty? Like, huh?
Like what?
He literally did that last week.
So there's a clear misunderstanding on overtaking rules in F1. Again, as we said last week, why is there so much controversy when a car passes another in Formula One? Christian Horner had some graphs. He was trying to talk about how racing can't be about who has the lead at the apex, because people will just dive bomb like what Lando did. And then someone said, how do you dive bomb on the outside?
Yeah.
Which is a fair point. So Formula One has no idea what racing is. So I'm ready to move on from that. But Carlos Sainz won. Ferrari is closing on McLaren for the constructors title.
Red Bull's third. Is that right?
Yeah. Red Bull's third. Because Sergio
Perez is that bad?
Sergio qualified 18th.
Girl. Oh, that's kind of sad. This might be his last Mexico Grand Prix. Oh,
I don't know how Sergio is that bad.
dang.
Or the car is that bad for him. But yikes.
Man.
That is insane. So I don't know. I have no idea what's going on in Formula One. And it's great because the parity in F1's probably better than it has been in a long time. At the same time, it's just like, I don't know. I hope they take a look at the overtaking rules. Like, Max just cannot keep pushing people off the track just because it's his championship rival. Like,
let them pass in a racing series. Crazy concept, but like also if you're going to have pushing off the track rules, follow them consistently.
yeah,
Interesting.
just punish Max. Like, make Max actually have to respect Lando. Then we'll actually get good entertainment.
On Ferrari, I do think it's exciting that Lewis Hamilton's ride next year won a race. So like we might see Lewis continue to get a few more wins, maybe.
They've won like 3 straight races, haven't they? Didn't Carlos win US? Or no, that was Leclerc.
That was Leclerc.
I think Sainz won before, though. I think they've won.
I don't know.
3 straight 1-2 finishes.
If Zach's wrong, he's lying to y'all. So don't ask me. I don't know. F1 is not my forte. But I believe Lando won before that. I don't know. But the T, Zach, is we mentioned Sergio Perez. Christian Horner declined to say if Perez is staying with Red Bull. It does not sound good.
Yeah, Ferrari's only won the last 2 races. Sorry, I lied.
Shocker. All men do is lie, you guys.
Yeah.
Don't trust a man.
They didn't get 1-2. Lando got second. I'm just lying my ass off today. I am so sorry.
Damn.
I'm so sorry.
We have
don't know what I'm
F1 in the
talking
T
about.
because Zach wants to talk about it, and then
I
he just
don't.
doesn't know it.
We could have skipped it today, by the way. All I did was complain about Max Verstappen. You think I'm happy complaining about Max Verstappen?
That's all the F1 content. Max Verstappen's ruining F1. Anyway,
So Sergio Perez declines to say if Sergio Perez is staying with Red Bull.
he gone.
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
Yeah. So is it gonna be Liam Lawson? Is that who they're gonna have in there? Have you followed this more than I do? No.
It's either him or Yuki. That's been the debate. Or when Ricardo was still, here, was between him. So is Liam Lawson? He's in the RB now, right? The junior team.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's either him or Yuki. I get. Well, that makes sense. They're both in the RB. So yeah, I guess one of those two.
I was laughing because you said when Ricardo was still here. It's like, yeah, when he was still here with us because fans are acting like memorializing him
like
as if he died.
I mean, he basically died to them. Like, if you're not an F1 driver, you're dead. Roman Grosjean's been dead for years. Like, he's
going to the U.S. Grand Prix. There were all these posts like, we're not going to see Daniel in his cowboy hat, you guys. It's like, he's still alive. Like, what are you?
Wasn't he at the track doing like stuff?
I don't know.
I think they made him do like appearances and stuff, which that must have hurt.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. F1 fans are funny, but you know who else is funny, Zach? Are Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans, because Dale Jr. just did something crazy for Junior Nation. And Zach, you are a proud member of Junior Nation. Dale Jr. is bringing back the DEI 8 font on some late model races. Junior. So this is pretty cool. The old classic number 8 font is back with Dale Jr. I think it's just 1 or 2 late model races this year and then several next year. Oh, you have a little bear. That's cute.
Listen, you know why I'm Dale Jr. fan? I was at my grandma's house. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I have no idea why. And there were a bunch of race car pillows. Like, they were pillow shaped like a NASCAR race cars. There was one that was Tony Stewart, I remember, but there was one that was Dale Jr. And I got to pick one for some reason. I think I'm like 5 years old at this point, by the way. Mm-hmm. So I picked the Dale Jr. one. I don't know why. And that's kind of how he became my favorite.
Aw.
I just had that pillow. So
cute.
It was my favorite.
Simple.
I started watching NASCAR halfway through 2007. 2008 was my first full year. So I did not spend that much time even watching the Bud Red 8, right? And yet it is such a huge part of my life. Yeah. And it's crazy that I'm just talking about a red car with black stripes and a number 8 on it. Like, isn't that cool?
It is cool.
I think that is peak, and it might be more than anything else. It's just peak paint scheme in terms of its cultural impact. And it's
for sure,
what NASCAR has kind of lost. Honestly, we see it with Red Bull. I feel like the Red Bull F1 car has so much cultural impact. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
I wish NASCAR could maybe get back to that one day. And there's more to it than just running the same paint scheme all year long, which is a financial impossibility in itself. But I just love what the Bud 8 represents. I love how it's coming back for it's the South Carolina 400 to Florence, and then potentially some races next year, because Dale said on his podcast he's focusing only on late model races next year. So some early in the season, and then after his TV stint, some in the fall.
I think it's so cool that Budweiser came back for this, like actual Budweiser. It's not just the number.
Like, they understand how important it is. Like, that is so super cool. And there's merch being made, which on my wallet. Like, that diecast, I'm like, I want to get the diecast, but I want to get like a 124. I don't have any room.
Right.
I didn't know where to put a 124. Oh my God. This is incredible. This literally, like, whatever we were upset about at Las Vegas, everyone's mood got brought up when that news came out last week. Like, everyone is happy. Everyone liked that. Biggest news of the year, low key.
There had been speculation about that because the rights for this font, the number 8, had expired and everything. And there are rumors that Dale would try going for it. And he clearly did. This is awesome. I love it. Fantastic news.
Can't wait to see it. Just
other fun news is that the Mazda MX-5 Cup Miatas were at Martinsville.
Like, y'all know those little Miatas that go around, like, you always see the photo finishes of them at Daytona during Rolex Week or whatever. And this started from an iRacing event. It's called, and I hate talking about it, but the Moon Car 24 Hours of Martinsville. They did it with Miatas, and they turned it not into a 24-hour race, but they had a Miata race at Martinsville. And it's, unprecedented territory for, sports cars to be doing a race on an oval. But it's so cool.
Yeah.
And I heard it was awesome. And I'm just like, I love whoever decided to make that happen. It was an exhibition race. It did not count in the championship. But I just love things like that. When I was a kid, I used to have a little IMSA series with my Hot Wheels, and I would have them race. They'd race at road courses, but they had one oval race at Bristol.
Bristol?
Because I'm chaotic. I had the prototypes in the GT cars. They raced at Bristol, 300 laps.
Wow.
Like on my little carpet or whatever. It wasn't actually 300 laps, but
I was going to say, did you count all 300 laps?
When I was a kid.
You got ADHD. You ain't going to remember what lap.
Well, I was such a nerd. I was a kid, so I would do 10% of the actual lap length.
Oh, wow.
So, that was probably before I started doing that. I used to have a little notebook. I'd write down the number of whoever led whatever lap.
Cute.
Anyways. But yeah, IMSA at Bristol. Can we make that happen next?
IMSA at Bristol.
IMSA at Bristol.
Those giant ass cars, would they even fit in the corner?
I don't know. I'm not saying to actually do that. That's just funny. It's funny to me. They could probably pull it off with the GT cars, not the prototypes. But also, I really like this idea of road-based racing series on ovals. I just think it's cool.
That's cute.
It was kind of like when F1 did that weird Bahrain race where it wasn't really an oval, but it was a very simple track.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to see, what if IMSA did Indy or Pocono or something?
Ooh.
That'd be kind of fun. I want them on a big oval track.
Right.
That'd be kind of fun.
Well, Zach, it's that time of the episode. We're going into fantasy. You did get a point. You had William Byron, who finished 6th, and I had Alex Bowman, who finished 7th. It was really close. I'm kind of bummed. Oh, you took your glasses off.
I feel like an anime character. I took my glasses off. Now you're just blurry. I'm locking in. No games. You will go down, Alexander. Sorry, I'm being cringe.
Cringe. Everyone pointed him and laughed. Cringe. It is 23-21. And if you don't know, in our fantasy game, the winner gets 3 points. So if I win Martinsville and then Zach gets 1 point at Phoenix, we tie, or vice versa.
No, that's not how that works. Oh, yes, if you win at Martinsville, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you win.
Why are you lying? Yes, that is correct.
I'm stupid. Also, if you just beat me in the next 2 races, you tie. There's a lot of scenarios where me and Alex can tie. Alex currently has the advantage because he has 3 wins this year, and I only have 2, and we go by the real NASCAR rules of whoever has the most wins gets the tiebreaker. Yep. Then after that, it's the most second place finishes, which I have. And anyways, I'm not really safe still because Alex has that tiebreaker advantage. Anyways, I'm getting my pick all up. Are you ready?
Yep.
Hold on, you gotta wait on me.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1. It's not pasting. I'm trying to pick Kyle Larson.
Oh.
It's not pasting. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Denny Hamlin. I did not think you were going to go with Denny.
I'm going Denny Hamlin.
That makes me feel so much better because I thought you were going to pick Blaney, and I was really scared. And
I thought about picking Blaney. I thought about picking Larson.
Explain Hamlin. You need to explain Hamlin. Go ahead.
I think with all the storylines this year, everyone's been doubting Denny Hamlin, even himself lately. Maybe he's finally backed off of the whole "it's my year" thing. Maybe now the tides have turned for him. The speed seems to be back a bit. I'm feeling it. That was my gut choice. And I feel like with this, I can't just go with like stats, you know? So
yeah,
with Denny.
I'm tired of going with stats. I don't think it works because, I mean, it's NASCAR. Late cautions change everything. I'm done with. I'm kind of done with snacks. I'm done with stats. Here's the thing. I don't think Denny's getting in because the vibes. This Martinsville fall race has haunted him the last few years. I'm not touching that energy. Okay. I thought you were going to go with Blaney. I really did.
See, that's what my heart wants. But my gut is telling me Denny for some reason.
Well, my gut is telling me Kyle Larson in the number 5 team because I think they are going to be more locked in than they ever are because their backs are against the wall. They know that they basically have to win if, you know, everyone else is going to be running up front.
Yeah.
They have been running really good at Martinsville lately. They have that win there last year.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have great pit stops. They're hopefully not going to cut a damn tire. I think. And also, Alex, he won the elimination race at Bristol. He won the elimination race at the Roval. He dominated both of those races. I think he's going to. I don't know if he's going to dominate this one, but if you're going to dominate a race at Martinsville where it's going to be hard to pass, is certainly one that's going to have an opportunity for him to dominate. And I'm also, I need a win. I definitely hope he wins because I do not want this to go to Phoenix with you having a chance to beat me still. I don't want that. I want Larson to lock in and win this weekend.
Because if you get the 3 points, you clinch it.
And I need that.
Yeah.
I don't want. So that's why I was like, I'm so glad I went with him because I was thinking about picking Blaney first to play games with you and cancel out. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I stuck with Larson first because he's who I think is going to win. So good.
Yeah. Man, if Blaney wins, it's going to feel like the magic of last year again for me. Like, I don't think it's the same vibe. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Blaney's going to win the championship if he does make it. But
you know what I just realized? I bet Logano is going to do some crazy stuff this weekend to help Blaney.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck lapping the 22 car.
That's Ryan Newman in that car this weekend.
Ryan Newman's in that car this weekend. Back in the Penske car. That's funny.
That's why the car's running 20th. It's gonna be Newman in the car.
Shut up.
I like Newman. That was a joke.
Crazy thing though, again, is like, you know, every other driver in the round of 8 that's not locked in already has won at Martinsville before, I believe.
I would think so.
Elliott,
I can't think of a situation
Hamlin,
where they haven't.
Byron, Larson, Bell, Blaney. Yep, they've all won at Martinsville, and it's been lately. Like, so this is gonna be good. I think they've won the last 4 races there. And then
I did ask you guys on Twitter if the loser of our NASCAR fantasy game should do anything interesting. So Zach, Dylan McCollum said that we should just rep the other winner's favorite driver. So me and Larson, you and Blaney. Adam Lemery said the loser has to buy the other dinner next time we see each other. We've done that before, I think, right? I feel like we did that. I don't know.
That was for what was that for? Didn't that happen at Indy or something?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but we did it. Oh. But this one, I am vetoing this. We are not doing this. From Brian Fletcher.
No.
He said the loser has to attend the next race they attend in person is for a full Austin Dillon Richmond win fit. I will not do that.
I like that idea if it's like for a podcast episode.
See, I could settle for that, but then I have to spend all this money, and I don't.
Maybe like just the hat. Maybe you just have to wear the hat, but then I don't know how you get the headphones over the hat.
Yeah,
you could do it. Yeah, wear an Austin Dillon hat. That'd be cute.
That
I
is
should buy
hilarious.
you an Austin Dillon die. I want to buy you like an Austin Dillon diecast. I went to Walmart today and I saw like all those stupid like petty 75th anniversary diecast.
There's so many Kyle Petty diecasts right now.
I thought about buying you. I wanted to get a Kyle Petty one and like ship it to you. The Casey Kane allegations. Put it on your Blaney shelf.
Ryan Blaney's biggest hater, Kyle Petty. Yeah.
Ryan Blaney's biggest. Yeah, it's important to keep the haters close.
That's so.
I really want to do that now.
Our friend Brooke Curran, you may as well get her one too.
It's important to keep the haters close.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Walmart has like 20 of them at each store. You can find it.
I need a message.
No one's buying it.
I got a message Brooke that. Oh my god, it's important to keep the haters close. Oh my god.
Thank you to those who gave us those ideas. We'll think about it.
I'm gonna send this to you so you can keep the hate. I'm sorry, I keep repeating my joke.
No, it's funny.
That was a good laugh.
Okay.
That was a good laugh.
Well, Zach, we're at the end of the episode. Crazy. Another one down. We have 2 weeks to go. We might do like a couple bonus episodes in the postseason, but we're getting down to the end of the year. Well, like 1 or 2.
I'm gonna say. Oh my god. I still need to get. Thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers. I have not posted content for you. Alex has plenty of content for you.
Yeah,
shows you his diecast collection. Shows you his
hero cards.
His hero cards. So I was trying to finish that sentence. I promise. I wasn't trying to leave it ambiguous. Yeah.
Nothing.
Okay.
So. Yeah, thank you to our Patreon subscribers. We really appreciate you. We want to do more for y'all next year. We're cooking ideas. We have ideas.
Yeah. We were gonna dress up for Halloween, but
yeah,
I don't know. Are you even going out anywhere for Halloween?
No.
That's the thing. Like, I only went out once, and it already happened, and I'm like,
yeah.
I dressed up as Fred from Scooby Doo.
Cute. Yeah, we were talking about doing like. Nick and Charlie from Heartstopper, or
that's
like
gay.
I was wanting to do Spider-Man, but then you were like, no, and I was like, okay.
What the hell am I gonna do with what's his face? Captain America? What am I gonna do with the Captain America suit?
I don't know. Wear it?
It's also awkward though, because like, yes, it's Halloween week, but like, it's not like Halloween.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to listen to this on Halloween.
Right.
So
maybe in the future, when we have our little studio and we're like recording in person, it'll be more fun.
That's true.
So
that would be fun.
Support the Patreon if you want that in the future.
We'll be like Corey the Joy and the little twink that he records with in that studio. The little twink that he records with, like this little twink.
Oh,
I don't know what his name is. I think his name is Ryan or something.
I know it's not him, but my head went to Andrew Curlin. I'm like, don't talk about Tyler Reddick's doppelganger like that.
No, not that twink. I don't even know if he is a twink. He has a little beard.
I don't know. Yeah,
I love him.
Me too. Well, let's wrap up the episode. Again, patreon.com/gayracingpod. Kind comment. We have a kind comment this week, Zach.
I hope it's kind.
We get a lot of nice comments, but this week we have an Apple review. Some other comments. We have a written 5-star Apple review, guys. You can do those. We'll read them. They get precedence. They get precedence over any YouTube comment. This is from GRP Enjoyer. What do you think that stands for? GRP.
I can't think of anything snappy. Giga racing person. They love racing so much. They just
Giga racing person enjoyer. Yep. Definitely not gay racing podcast enjoyer. On Apple Podcast says, these bros know how to cast some pod for real, for real. This is the straightest person ever. Thank you so much.
GRP enjoyer. I can smell them from a mile away.
Yeah. So again, written 5-star reviews on Apple. We'll read them before any nice YouTube comments. You can also leave us 5 stars on Spotify. We're 15 subscribers from 400 on YouTube. Help us get there. Subscribe, like on YouTube. You can follow us on TikTok at Gay Racing Pod. That is growing. Hopefully they don't get rid of that app in the US. Socials at Gay Racing Pod everywhere. I'm trying to post every new episode that goes out on Blue Sky. So we're over there. At Dreamy Zack Racing and at New Gaiden. And that's it.
You think they're going to get rid of TikTok? I don't know. Well, I'm voting next week, so
make sure you vote.
Make sure you vote.
You can
Race
early
to the
vote
polls.
in a lot of places. I already early voted. Zach's too lazy, but he will do it on election day.
Yeah. It's not too hard to vote in person where I am. So
no.
Now I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to show up, and there's going to be a line. I'm going to be like, girl, I should have early voted. So go ahead, early vote if you're not sure. Don't be lazy like me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
all right.
I think that's it.
So we're talking about Martinsville next week, and we'll know who's fighting for a championship, and we'll make our championship predictions, whether that's in fantasy or not. And yeah, so we'll see you guys next week, hopefully talking about a banger Martinsville race. Stay safe. Have a good Halloween if you celebrate. See you next time. Bye.